when you hit rock bottom, there is this only way up. When you hear cut, you heard cut, but now what do you do of the cut? I am a gymnastic, I am a advanced level deep sea diver, I'm a skydiver, I've done paragliding, I'm a workaholic, I love working, and I love, knowledge is infinite, so the more you have, the lesser it is.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Conversations with AuguR. Today, we have with us Sanober Pardiwalla, a stunt artist who has performed 194 plus stunts for Bollywood movies, various TV commercials, and lots of live action shows. She has won twice the Lifetime Achievement Award for Outstanding Stunt in Bollywood. Welcome, ma'am. It's a pleasure to host you today for this conversation. Everyone here knows already who you are and what you do. I would want to know more about what has been your childhood been like and what prompted you to kind of move into this, take this as a career option.
Well, my childhood, it's been fun. It's been crazy. I think I had the most busiest childhood ever, simply for the fact that we never had time in our childhood. So we luckily used to play a lot, and our play used to be karate classes, gymnastics, swimming, and all of that was made fun. It was no compulsion. It was no competition. But if you like it, do it. If you don't like it, don't do it. It was no kind of a rat race or no kind of a forced event. So I guess, and even studies were fun because you were not supposed to be aiming to score 100 out of 100. So my parents were actually, my upbringing was really great thanks to my parents, and I ended up being a brilliant kid because I was never under the pressure of scoring or doing something great. So I guess that really helped a lot. And that's how a lot of my childhood went. I grew up listening to my grandfather, a lot of his stories. He was a tail gunner in the Royal Air Force, so I know everything from the piston engines to the jet engines, how which engine has its own pros and cons and everything of it. So yes, growing up, that's how my childhood has been.
And like you were good in studies and everything, right? Now,
Yes.
you started your kind of the stunt career at the age of 12, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that's also right. So one day when I was in my classes for gymnastics, I was called in for an audition and I was asked to perform somersaults. And that is exactly what they wanted. And they wanted someone to match the body language of Aishwarya. So which very well did with me. And I could perform the flips that they were looking at. And they really liked it. So they asked me for the shoot and I did it. So from that day onwards, there was no turning back because that very day I realized how good I was in doing what I was doing. So I thought, the whole idea of education is at the end of the day, you do what you're supposed to be good at doing and, making money out of it. So why not do what I'm good at doing and make money out of it?
Yeah,
So that's
happiness is
exactly.
kind of the key, right?
Oh yes, happiness and, satisfaction in what you do. So if you're not, even if you're great at what you're doing and if you're not happy about it or if you're not satisfied about it or if it doesn't bring you happiness, bottom line, you will always there is always this something lacking missing from your life which will always be there, so might as well do something that you really love.
Was there any challenges from the society as general? Because they, like Indian society, right? They don't really uh, look like, they don't really appreciate if women's are doing some unorthodox jobs. So
Oh yes,
was
yes, in fact there were a lot of challenges. In fact, I really hope no one or none of my teachers are watching this interview. So yes, so obviously when I was in school I never used to tell them that I'm performing stunts when you used to, bunk school. But
Hmm.
I really hope no teacher or my principal isn't watching it. But apart from that, yes, those were the times that I was bunking school. I was still doing what I was good at doing. And yes, it was just not accepted. So when you're doing, half of the times I used to just spend in a conversation with someone. If someone asked me, where did you go? What did you do? I used to spend 90% of my conversation in explaining what is a stunt, because they would just hear the whole thing and in the end they would be like, नहीं 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 ऐसा नहीं होता. एंड आई एम लाइक नहीं नहीं मैंने अभी ऐसा किया. एंड दे आर लाइक नहीं नहीं ऐसा होता ही नहीं. एंड आई एम लाइक ठीक है रहने दो, इट्स ओके, डजंट मैटर.
Nice. Sometimes society, even through these, uh, when they try to mock you or something, they are you kind of enjoy sometimes because you are anyway doing it. You are anyway going about your job or your whatever you want to do, and then society, even if it tries to mock, you kind of take it in a on a lighter note.
Yeah, that is also there. That
Cool.
is also there. You have
And
to take it every taunts, see, society will not accept. So certain times when you're working with the film industry, there are no time limits. So at times, I have reached the studio at 6 in the morning and left the studio at 11 in the night. So I haven't even seen the sunlight in the entire day. I've missed what is sunlight for that day, you see. So there are times when you reach home late. So in those times, 20 years ago, when I was 12 years old and I would come home at that hour in the night, being a girl, that would be a very big taboo. They would be like, oh, itne baje, like I used to be the talk of my entire building simply, aaj kitne baje aaye? और आज इसने क्या पहना था? This used to be a very fascinating subject for people in my building as to what I wore today, what makeup I had. Very importantly, they were obsessed with my makeup for some reason. I don't know why, but they were obsessed with the makeup and what time I come.
And in these type of scenarios, I think your parents or your family plays a really big role, right? They are kind of they are shielding you from the society's taunts and everything, right?
No, not really. In fact, my parents taught me the other way around. So every time that I would feel offended about someone or something, my parents were the ones to actually, empower me by saying that you decide, is it their opinion that matters to you or our opinion? First decide who is your priority. What they have actually grounded me so well that my choices have become very clear from a very young age for me to choose, and for someone's opinion to then affect me, they had to be my priority. So were they not my priority and were they just a simple crowd from a crowd, if someone praises me also, I would be like thank you. If someone says something nasty also, I would be like your perception, not my reality. So you see, it wouldn't either excite me or it wouldn't either sadden me after a particular point in time. So my parents always empowered me and they taught me to, kind of face it rather than shield me from it, because they realize that, they can shield me only from a particular up to something which is in their capacity. They can't always shield me for the rest of their lives, right? So that is
Exactly.
exactly where they decided that you have to learn to fight your battles. So if this is what you're choosing to do, then you have to learn to face it also. And the only way to face it is by empowering your own self and believing in your own self rather than the statements or just simple comments of ongoers.
Exactly. That's so true. Yeah. And when you start with this is such a challenging job, right? Not everyone can do it. That's for sure. What preparations do you kind of have to do before performing any stunts, or just for the job? What you got preparation do you do for that?
A lot. So there is a lot that goes into performing stunts and just before performing stunts also. So physical fitness really matters. It is a huge great deal because your fitness not only just constantly builds your reflexes, but your reflexes are very important when you're performing stunts. So you have to understand, gauge, and when something has to go wrong, it goes wrong within that fraction of a second. And your ability has to be with your reflexes to correct it in that fraction of a second so that you don't get injured. So that is what stunts is all about. So whether it's just before the stunt or whether you don't have a month of shoot, you still have to make sure that I at least have to make sure that my fitness is always at its peak. It's never on a, it can't be at a mid level when I'm performing stunts. No, no, no. I'll always have to be at my peak performance in my fitness. That's one very key important ingredient when you're performing stunts.
And these gymnasts and everything which you have a list of things which you kind of have learned, that
Yes.
also kind of helps you through these preparations, right?
Oh yes, totally. So there are a lot of things that I've learned. I am a gymnastic. I am a advanced level deep sea diver. I'm a skydiver. I've done paragliding. I've learned several weapons. I'm a pistol and rifle sharpshooter. I know swords. I know a lot of other weapons too. So what happens is a combination of these things. I'm not saying one thing. So you can't just say you are an advanced deep sea diver and you are also a stunt artist. No, it doesn't work. Yes, it does help, but it is, one portion of something that helps. So when you're doing underwater stunts, yes, a lot of your breath control, calmness of the mind, your entire body language, your aura. And when you're doing a stunt, see, holding your breath underwater is different, and performing without showing that you're holding your breath underwater and then performing is a total different scenario. So with that, you have to hold your breath, perform, and at the same time keep your mind calm.
Tough
So
job.
yes, so there are a lot of combination of factors that really help you. So yes, so with all those certifications and this knowledge over a period of time, yes, you grow, you develop, you evolve, and that is what really helps.
And that brings me to the next question. Like, even though there are certain precautions in place when you're performing the stunts, right? Uh,
Hmm.
what differentiates a stunt person from a normal human being in terms of how they react to certain things?
Well, a stunt artist would definitely, in cases of survival, let's say, a stunt artist has a better chance of survival because they exactly know all the jugards of how to go about things and how to get things in the most easiest, non-harmful manner. Because this is exactly what you are supposed to be doing. This is exactly what our skills are. So that is how it differentiates. Yes, let's say your car is stuck in a puddle and you just don't know how to get out of it. So let's say if it's a stunt artist, the stunt artist would make sure that you get out of it for sure. So yeah, those are the little knickknacks that are advantages of being a stunt artist.
So you, before performing any stunts, do you kind of weigh in where it might go wrong and
Oh,
what are
totally, totally. At that point in time, I am the biggest pessimist and the biggest optimistic. I am like in two bipolar zones. So first, I plan everything that can go negative with it. So you see, when you hit rock bottom, there is this only way up. So first, I plan everything that can go wrong with it. Then we plan the opposite in a manner where we make sure that these are the possibilities. Now, how can we do something which is in contrast of those possibilities where that doesn't happen? So
nice?
that's exactly where the security and the safety is, taken care of.
Yeah, and it becomes
Unless you
really
don't,
uh,
yeah, yes, it's very important. It's not about being negative. It is very important because that, you have to learn to be negative. You have to, sometimes being negative is also actually can save your life. Fear is very important. So when you know that these are the things that can go wrong, it's not that you're being negative, but yes, you being realistic, wherein you know that these are the things that can go wrong, and now you're planning in a manner where, okay, now what do we do so that these things don't go wrong? You see?
exactly, yeah. And here again, it is like making sure all the safety and everything is taken care of is really important because it comes onto your reputation, right? Because next time when you,
Totally.
yeah, when you're doing
Totally.
this project, everyone will kind of judge you based on what happened earlier. And
Oh yes. Oh yes. So it is like, you can do 1,000 stunts in your career, and the one stunt where you break your hand, or the one stunt where you just, even if it's not your fault, let's say you're standing in a corner and something bangs on your hand and you've got a fracture. Let's say that happens, yet people will forget the 999 beautiful, amazing, wow stunts that you did, and they'll remember, "Arey, par wo set pe to aapko laga tha na? That set you got hurt, na?" That's how it is. Yeah, you're right.
cool. And this is really like I feel this is one very interesting take. Like your job is to play action for someone else, right? You're behind the scene person. How much return do you get in terms of recognition? Does it bother you that you sometimes don't get your due credit which which you were supposed to get, something like that?
Well, it goes. It depends. Not really. I don't feel bad about it because this is some kind of a job that I actually signed up for. So this is like a Mission Impossible post protocol variant that I have signed up and I am paid for. And then when I'm not recognized for it, why should I feel bad about it? Because this is exactly a voluntary, assignment that I have taken and I am voluntarily doing it. So then, it's a yes, when you get recognition and when your names are in the credit, certain people do put up your names in credit, certain movies, they just don't. And it's okay because this is exactly what your job is and what you've signed up for. The whole idea is not to show that an actor is, using or an actress is using a stunt double to be performing those high octane scenes. Because see, when you're making a movie from a producer's perspective, there are a lot of things at stake. It's a lot of money, it's crores of rupees, it's the image of the film, it's so many factors that revolve around making a movie. So towards the end, it really doesn't matter who's done it as long as the whole picture and the purpose is solved. So the job of a stunt artist is not to be recognized. The job of a stunt artist is to step in the actor's shoes, do something that is impossible for the actor, which is our specialty, and step out of it. Why? Because that is exactly the job profile. That is exactly the kind of job you've signed up for.
We would love to know which all actors you have performed stunts for so far, and any memorable or the some most dangerous or exciting stunt which you did.
Okay, so actress, name me your favorite actress and I've performed for her. Name your favorite actress and I've done for her. So there is, I don't think, someone that I might not have done for. I've done for almost every actress. And favorite stunt, well, here it comes. You tell me what category do you like? So I have performed stunts in various categories. So there are aerial categories wherein, you jump from heights, buildings, and stuff like that. So then there is this choppers and aerial stunts, everything that includes jumps from heights and stunts revolving around heights. Then there is a second category called underwater stunts. Now underwater stunts are a whole different, it's a whole different ball game of performing underwater stunts. Third is fire sequences. So fourth, fire sequences include, the entire fire stunts, wherein there is a whole good amount of fire, or sometimes there is a little fire on your body. Fourth would be glass break sequences. So glass break sequences include a lot of breaking of glasses. So imagine people say, okay, when you break glasses, it's a bad omen. I say, no, 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 no. I get paid to break glasses. It's good omen. So that's there. And the fourth is the fight sequence, wherein there are physical fights, the standard move in, move out fight, wherein fist fight, sword fight, or, there are certain physical fights that are happening between two people, cars and bike sequences. So pick a category. Which category do you want me to tell you
Someone in,
a favorite stunt?
someone in the chat, Aman, I guess, in the chat post said top in each category would be fine.
Oh, come on. No, come on. Tell me one. Pick one. I'll tell you. Pick one.
Aerial stunts.
Aerial stunts? Well,
Yeah.
so aerial stunts are one of the most trickiest, one of the most riskiest, and there are times when you say it's 99% hard work and 1% God's work in it. In aerial stunts, no, 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 no. It is 101% of hard work, and then we just actually rely on God. God, do please make sure you add the other to make it 200%. It is more like that. So with aerial stunts, yes, it's let's say one of the challenging stunts was when I was jumping, rappelling down a chopper to a running truck. The chopper at the speed of 80 kilometers per hour, the truck at the speed of 80 kilometers per hour, both in the middle of a highway. Both sides of the highway were high tension cables. You know those big cables that run through the desert. We were shooting this in Dubai. This was for Mahindra Renault car. That time the Renault had just launched in India, and this was the ad then. And so, anyways, chopper, truck, the open loader truck where the car was placed. Now the height between the truck and the chopper is 80 feet. I had to rappel down the chopper to the running truck, dislodge myself from the rope, get into the car, take the car back reverse from the running truck, spin it 180 degrees and go in the other direction. Now the first sequence that comes in, that is rappelling down from the chopper, that was the trickiest part, because you know when there are two, so in the middle of the desert, in the highway, where there were both the sides those high tension cables running through the highway. So because of the high tension cable, the chopper pilot would get a lot of turbulence. So he couldn't keep it steady. Now several times I rappelled down from the chopper. Now once you rappel down, there is no rappelling up. You can't go back up to the chopper. You have to get down only. Now, what if you miss the truck down? Where do you go? Because the guy cannot keep it stable, it's not his fault. He's getting a lot of turbulence, the pilot, but he's a very skilled pilot. Now, what happens at that point in time when you're in here, there is no truck below you, you are at, you know, that height, give or take 100 feet is what you are at. Now you've missed the truck, the guy cannot land you on the highway because he's not allowed to. So what does he do? He says, just hold on. Now, anyways, you are in midair. Hold on. And this is all sign language. Anyways, even if he didn't say hold on, I still had to hold on. Where did I go? I had no place to go. So anyways, he lifts the chopper another 100 feet high just to make sure that I am away from the high tension cable and the ropes are away from the high tension cables. And then he would take me right into the middle of the sand dune. Then he would ask me to, you know, rappel down on the sand dune. I would rappel all the way down on the sand dune. The chopper would go park itself on the highway. Then I had to walk along with that entire rope, drape it, carry it with me through the sand dunes. And it's really difficult to walk in those sand dunes. Huh? It's really difficult. So then you walk all the way, like around 500 meters to the highway, where you're completely sloshed. You're wearing leather jackets, you're wearing leather pants, you're wearing leather shoes, and it's all filled with sand, and you're tired. Then what happens is, hold on, it doesn't end here. Now we've still not got the take. The take is to land on the truck. Now what do? So you continue. Then you re-rig the whole thing. Then you replan the whole thing, get the truck in alignment, figure out what was the coordination thing, the chopper and the whole part of it, and then we reshoot it. So this is something that we did at least 13 times. And then that's how we did it. So I think, yes, this was one of the most challenging stunts. It was crazy and it was challenging and it was hot. It was hot, sand everywhere.
And with those leather clothes on.
Oh yes, the leather clothes. And you're wearing that harness also. Don't forget the harness.
Ah.
Besides the leather clothes, you're wearing harnesses. So yes, you're actually, you feel you're getting baked in your own clothes.
I'll just be greedy and ask for one more.
Sure. All right, so I'll tell you the underwater one.
Yeah.
So in underwater, what happens is, normally when you go for swimming, basically you're wearing those goggles. So when you duck your head inside, you can see the floor below, right?
Yeah.
Now, have you ever tried going underwater without your goggles? You go blind, you can't see anything.
Exactly, yeah.
You can't see anything. So when you're performing a deep underwater stunt, you're absolutely blind. So this was one of the stunts that I did, wherein my hands were tied with a rope and the legs were tied, and the scene was such that I was wearing this woman is wearing a sari. Now imagine a sari in an underwater stunt. Beautiful. Now, yeah. So certain times, certain things, you know, yeah, the costumes are also really challenging in performing stunts. Now, with a sari, hands, legs are tied with a stone, and there are these goons who just throw her inside the sea, and this woman sings thanks to the stone. And once she reaches the bottom, there is this goddess who she really prays to, and that goddess kind of rescues her out of the water. Now, as beautiful as this mythological sequence sounds, to put it into reality and to shoot it, pain. So now, the fabric. You know, certain times the fabric fills up so much of air inside you when your fabric reacts very differently in the water. This is that day I realized why swimming costumes are barely skimpy. This is the reason I realized it that day. Now, what happens is, so in a sari, when you just dive in, there is a lot of air bubble. So no matters what, you only sink for the first 3 feet. After that, you're not sinking. No matters what you do, you're not sinking. And there are underwater cameras, divers, everything. Now, to sink my body under the water all the way 20 feet down, because they need that body travel. So if this is the underwater camera at a low angle and this is the water surface, they need that body traveling, no sinking shot. So how do you do that? That is at least 20 feet your body needs to travel for that camera to capture that depth, to show that depth. Now, in order to do that, yes, so you're wearing this weight belt, which we scuba divers use for buoyancy. So I added a little extra. So normally I use 3 kgs. I had to add 6 kgs on my waist. Why 6 kgs? Because then that sinking effect would happen, because our bodies are not made to sink. Our bodies are made to float. They're not made to sink. Now, so with this effect, with the 6 kg weight belt on my waist, under the sari, let's be precise, under the sari. So now even if after sinking, even if I want to release the belt and come up, I can't, because it's inside the sari. How do you do it? Okay. Now, what happens is your body sinks. So on action, you jump, your body starts sinking all the way down, reach, cut. Okay. Now, how the hell do you swim up? You heard cut, but now what do you do of the cut? You can't go up. No, how do you breathe? By then your lungs have gotten completely exhausted out of zero oxygen. What do you do? So at that point in time, I have the breath of life, which my rescue diver comes and gives it to me. Now he has to come in that precise moment, and I can't see, 20 feet under the water. You're blind without your goggles. You don't even know which direction he is coming in. Unless he holds your head and puts that nozzle straight into your mouth, you wouldn't even know. Even if he's standing at this distance from me, I wouldn't be able to gauge who is it. So yes, that is the trickiest part, and you do that. So you do that one take, you're good. Now you repeat doing those takes, your body's capacity, your power. You can run 1 kilometer in one go, but then after that, if you are asked to do it all over again, and then 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 when you have to do it 10 times, imagine your capacity. So on the 10th take also, you have to perform with full capacity, which you did on your first take. Otherwise, it's again a retake. That is where the physical fitness also comes into play. No, you have to kind of, even if you're tired, you have to know that, if you don't, the body language shows fatigued, or even if you, kind of say cut halfway and the diver comes in halfway, you'll have to still repeat the shot. The whole purpose is not met. You still repeat the shot. So, at that point in time, a lot of calmness of the mind and a lot of exposure and a lot of experience. That's why the advanced deep sea level diving, I suppose helps, because it teaches you to kind of, be calm and at the same time perform.
Nice. Having performed these all, I think saw it on your website, there were 194 plus stunts which you have performed, right?
Yes.
I wanted to ask what is success to you now? Like, how do you define that term success? How do you define that, okay, now I'm successful?
I have got 2 Lifetime Achievement Awards and 5 Taurus World Stunt nominations. I don't know what else can define that.
So, like, that recognition and that appreciation is kind of success to you, right?
Yes. A success in terms of the career of stunts.
How did lockdown how did you got away from staying at home for few months?
So, so apart from performing stunts, I'm also an exercise physiologist and a nutritionist, and I have completed my doctorate in clinical hypnotherapy. So the days I would, in my normal days before lockdown also, when I wouldn't be performing stunts I wouldn't be doing 30 days a month, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it is project wise and, time and schedule wise. So apart from performing stunts, I would train people for fitness, and I would go to their places and train them for the needful, guide them for the nutrition, and also work on their mind as their mental health coach and their fitness coach. So that is exactly what I was doing online. I have so many people that I train across the world. I have a couple of people in US, in New York, in Dubai, in Antwerp. And so these are the clients that I train. And also I have several people in Bombay. So I suggested all of them that, look, there are people that I train over Skype. If you'd like to continue doing what we are doing, you could do it online for the time being until things open up. And everybody, it was great fun for all. And that is exactly how we've continued doing it. So if you ask me what was I doing in lockdown, oh my God, yes, this is exactly how my life went in lockdown. So I was still working. I'm a workaholic. I love working, and I love knowledge is infinite. So the more you have, the lesser it is.
Absolutely.
So yes, that's how I was going about.
Nice. And coming to the last question, ma'am, what suggestions or advices do you have to people who who want to get into stunt or who want to get into cinema as general?
Well, have a backup profession. A. Even if you're getting into Bollywood or into stunts, let's say, have a backup profession because these are freelancing jobs. And let's say a situation like this, like quarantine, can kind of really has been difficult on so many people because they have only relied on one occupation, one profession, one source of income. So in today's world, if you are choosing an industry which is unreliable or non-sustainable in the long run, or which is very unpredictable, let's say, out of all, very unpredictable in terms of the guarantee of the projects or the jobs that you would get, then at that point in time, do follow your passion. I don't say don't follow your passion or kill your passion for money. No, no, no. Do follow your passion, but at the same time, simultaneously be a little realistic person and have a backup profession. So let's say stunts is something that for how long can you do? Let's be realistic here. Come on, you can do it till the age of 45, 50. But do you think at the age of 18, when you jumped from 15 feet, would you be able to jump from 15 feet from at the age of 50? At the age
Absolutely.
of 40? Come on.
Absolutely not. This is something which kind of realistically, yeah, humans can't do it. Yeah.
Exactly. So what do you do at the age of 40? Then you want to change your profession and look for a job? Not happening. Why? Why would someone, so at that point in time, you need to have your backups planned. So have a career planned, at least study law or at least study something else, CA, or, figure out some kind of a different profession that you could also be interested in and start practicing it, even if it is, just doing it on a part-time basis. Why? Because over a period of time, you would have gauged experience. So the day you choose to shift your careers or the day you choose to, shift your lines, at least you will start with experience. You wouldn't be starting with, you wouldn't be starting as a fresher just straight out of the college at the age of 40. And that doesn't work at that age, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
you have to be a little practical person. If you choose to pursue Bollywood, yes, please do so. It's great, it's fun, it's so much creative. It's every day there is something new to learn on the set, the new lightings, the new way things work, the VFX technology. And yes, it is a beautiful world. It is not that it is not, but at the same time, yes, have something along with it. It can't be your only source of bread and butter. You have to have something along with it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This was a very interesting interview. I
All
thank
right.
you so much, ma'am. Again, it means a lot to us, and it is so positivity. You like throw away a lot of positivity when you are speaking like this. You are. It is very motivating for us. I'll say this is very unfortunate time we are not able to meet in person. We have few projects in pipeline which we are not able to go through, and hearing out from you with such positiveness is a bliss here. So thank you
Glad.
again.
Thank you.
Thank you
Pleasure
again.
was mine too.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank
Right.
you so much for doing this. Yeah. See you. Bye-bye.
Welcome. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you for staying with us throughout this conversation. If you liked what you saw, please, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.